Welcome back to Moving Quickly and quickly moving through this video. I'm appreciative of you coming to my channel and watching this. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel so you can get more great content from myself. All right, so like any other city, when I'm traveling using Qwick, Phoenix was no different. I contact Qwick support maybe about a day or two in advance so that I can, well, let me take that back. If I've never been to the city before or worked Qwick in that city before, then what I'll do is I'll contact Qwick about three days before, because typically I would need to get my food handler's card and my alcohol beverage certificate or whatever. And so that way, when I get to the city, I can hit the ground running. I can already start seeing shifts, picking up shifts. So soon as the plane land, I could just get to going. And I've done that in many cities, and Phoenix was no different. So when I first got to Phoenix, I believe my first gig in Phoenix was at the Canopy Hotel in Scottsdale. And so as soon as I got off the plane, I was like, bet. Because I already had my Arizona, alcohol certificate, and I had my food handler's card also already. So I did that, and it was already uploaded into the system. It's only like $8 each to do it, and it takes a couple of hours. So I think I might have did it in the airport while I was, kind of waiting to board the airplane. But anyway, as soon as I hit Phoenix, I was like, pew. You know what I'm saying? I like literally hit the ground running, left the airport, and went straight to the gig. And I like to travel lightly. So, I keep like a medium-sized backpack with my work clothes and then a couple other changes of clothes, so that, in situations like this, when I gotta just get off the airplane and go, I'm ready. I don't have no luggage. I don't gotta go to baggage claim. I don't gotta do none of that. I'm just boom, right off the plane and I'm dipping. And so I worked at the Canopy. It's a rooftop. They have a rooftop bar. I was a food runner that day. Well, yeah, and / bar back. I was doing more bar backing than food running, but I think the job was for a food runner. But anyway, it was paying like $22 an hour, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna take it. So I took the gig. Like I said, hit the ground running, got there, and the lady who was the manager, she fell in love with me because I was putting on. I was there on time, came with a good attitude, picked up their system fairly quickly, because since it was a rooftop bar and it was right around the time of spring training. So a lot of the baseball players were there. So it was crazy because, most MLB players are either like Dominican, Cuban, Puerto Rican, whatever the case may be. So, a lot of people were there with their families, and it was just a good time. And so, like I said, since it's a rooftop bar and I was food running as well as bar backing, I have to, kept going up and down the elevator, and they had a service elevator in the back. Really dope hotel, if you know that. I mean, they have two canopies in the Phoenix area that I know of. I stayed at one of them. I stayed at the one in downtown Tempe, and then they had the one in Scottsdale. They both have rooftop bars, rooftop pools, and like I said, it was a great time. So I was, but it was a lot of constant going up and down. The only thing that was crazy about that shift was that they pretty much had, nothing but young ladies working up there, and they little skimpy tops and shorts and stuff like that. And and they weren't that well trained in the art of service. So, they would be ringing in food and, not knowing what they rang in. And then, I'm bringing the food up and then they taking each other's orders. And so then some of the girls like, oh, well, did you, for instance, for example, did you bring my egg rolls and my sliders up? And I'm like, yo, like, I've been brought that up. I put the ticket right there. And then, the manager lady that fell in love with me, she was like, well, yeah, they do that all the time, so just make sure you try to, let the right ones know. So then I had to like learn all their names and, and so from there, it was just like sky's the limit. Then I ended up working at one of the casinos, one of the little reservation casinos they got out there. That was a dope little gig. I was a server for that. Easy work, banquet serving, easy work. I did that a few days in a row. Then I started working at the dorms at ASU, and once I started doing that as a line cook, it got super easy because I was working like 2 shifts a day, cashing out like almost $300 a day. Because I would do the early morning shift and then I would do like the late afternoon shift, and probably work about 10 hours total, and yeah, almost, pretty much was almost making like $300 a day when I started doing those. Then I got a couple of gigs at some resorts out there, some like golf, like some golf resorts and some other places, bartending. So making good tips at the bar. Yeah, I had a nice run in Phoenix with Qwick, and I've actually gone back on, like 2 or 3 more occasions where it's basically the same thing. It's just, I can't take the heat. So, if I was to go back to Phoenix, it'd have to be around this time of year between now and like March, maybe the end of March, early April. But after that, like I was last in Phoenix in September, and it was still like triple digits. It was still like, 104, 102, and then it'll bump up to like 108, and maybe go down to 99, but it was still crazy hot. So I had to get up out of there, but still made good money. I would say about the average pay grade in Phoenix, no matter what gig you're working, it's going to probably be right around 25 an hour, especially if you pick something up last minute. You'll probably get closer to 30 an hour in Phoenix, depending on what's going on. The only negative kind of experience I had in Phoenix was I did work this resort, and I was I forgot what I was doing, but anyway, we had to set up the whole situation. And when we set everything up, we had a little downtime. And so I was, flirting with this little young lady that worked in the little concession area of where I was working. And she was like, she asked me, was I hungry? I'm like, yeah, I'm hungry. And so basically, she made me some food or whatever. I paid for the food. I didn't get the food for free or nothing. And so one of the the supervisors or the top dogs around there, he come around like, oh, what are you doing? You're eating? I'm like, yeah, we got some downtime. I'm hungry. Like, I just worked another shift, and this was a last minute shift. So they was paying me like 30 an hour for the shift. And it was only a 5-hour shift. So I'm like 1 hour in. And so he get the woofing, and he gonna tell the lady, and the lady was already tripping anyway. And so she gonna try to, like chew me out or whatever. And I'm like, whatever. And then I was like, you know what, I'm about to leave. And then the lady like, what? And then, she trying to be all nice when I told her I was leaving. So I clocked out, and then, I still ended up getting paid for 4 hours, even though I probably only worked like an hour and a half. Because I told the Qwick people, what happened. And so they was like, all right. And they paid me for 4 hours. So anyway, that's basically my experience in Phoenix. Is good money in Phoenix, lots of jobs out there because that is where Qwick is headquartered. So, think about that if you're in the Phoenix area and you just, want to get you some supplemental income, then definitely download Qwick, use the referral code, clock out of, your first shift, and you'll make $100 on top of whatever you earn that day. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Most definitely use the link, use the referral code, get your $100, and, be moving quickly in the world. Thank you so much. Until the next one. Peace.